What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and today I'm going to be reviewing two LEGO sets that I bought recently and built on live stream with you guys, the Ahsoka T-6 Shuttle and the fighter plane chase from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. These are two random sets that have nothing to do with each other, but I thought they looked pretty cool. I found the Ahsoka set on sale, and most of you guys said I should review these, so I'm going to be reviewing them together, going from largest to smallest. So let's start off with the Shuttle, shall we? The first minifigure we have to look at from the T-6 Shuttle is Ahsoka Tano herself, the new Mandoverse version of the character, and as much as I dislike this version of the character in the show itself, I can't deny that this is one of the best Ahsoka minifigures we've had to date. It's great to finally be getting her white lightsabers, since they gave us an inaccurate color for them back in the Rebels sets, although I do like what I did for my own custom lightsabers by sanding down some translucent pole pieces. These still look pretty great. I love the gunmetal color scheme going on here. The arm printing is fantastic. I honestly wasn't expecting that before we got the images for these sets. And the shorter head tails are great as well, accurate to her appearance in the show, and could even work for an updated version of the younger Ahsoka from the Clone Wars. This minifigure does not disappoint, and it really does give the Siege of Mandalore version a run for its money. And moving right along to our next minifigure, we have Sabine Wren, and this fig looks pretty accurate to the character from the show. I don't love the dark brown as a base for the color scheme, but that's what they decided to go for in the show. The colors are pretty cool. I like the helmet design, which you can remove and replace with her purple hairpiece, which is pretty cool to see. She comes equipped with her two blasters, although I only have her wielding one at the moment, and of course, Ezra's green lightsaber. She has this same newer skin tone that I've only seen before on Cassian Andor from last year, but it's still cool to see LEGO branching out and including various new ethnicities in their cast of LEGO minifigs. Next up is Huyang, or as I simply refer to him, the David Tennant droid. This color scheme is not accurate to his appearance in the show. He's silver in the show. This is more accurate to his appearance in the Clone Wars, weirdly enough, but I don't mind. I love the new head mold, and there's a pretty cool printed tile on the back, which you do get a spare of. But last, and certainly not least, of the minifigures from the T-6 Shuttle, we've got Marok, who I'm sure we can all agree is the best character in all of Star Wars. He totally wasn't a useless cloud of green smoke who existed purely for the sake of giving Ahsoka a couple fight scenes. But putting aside how pointless this character was in the series, the minifig is really awesome. They put way more effort into this than they needed to. I love the helmet design and armor piece here, the gun metal printing, and this is my first time getting the Inquisitor lightsaber hilt since I missed out on it back in the Rebels sets. You can even take those lightsaber blades off there and clip it onto the back of his armor, which was totally not necessary, but I like it a lot. Really a surprisingly great minifigure considering how much of a waste of space he was in the show. And moving down into the T-6 Shuttle itself, I really like this design. I kind of wanted to get this because the T-6 Shuttle is a vehicle used by all Jedi, not only Ahsoka, so I wouldn't be wasting my money on something from a TV show that I hated. I've seen some people saying that the gray color scheme isn't accurate, but I don't mind. I think it looks pretty great, all things considered. You can spin the wings all the way around. It's very solid, too. It doesn't feel flimsy or like it's going to fall apart at all. You can see the engines on the back. It was a very complicated build in its construction. I actually messed it up a couple times on the live stream and had to take it apart and start over again at a few points, which was quite irritating. There are a few storage compartments on the side. There's a little box in there with a wrench that they show Huyang using because, of course, the shuttle gets damaged 50,000 times in the series and has to be rebuilt. This side, there's not too much in there. It's just an empty space where you can put a few extra accessories and whatnot. There are some stickers here and there, but they aren't intrusive like they are in the next set we'll talk about. And of course, there is a small space in the cockpit where you can place a minifigure like Hu Yang, because he's honestly the real best character in the series. Forget about Ahsoka Tano. And of course, we have those newish stud shooters, which you can of course fire off like so. I'm never going to find that again. But I really do like the design of this. As I said, it's solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. You can even move out these little flaps on the bottom to use as a stand. Well, I actually just broke it there, but as you can see, you can put it down on those little flaps and it will stand up fairly well as long as it's on a solid surface. I do also appreciate how much space there is to have the minifigures stand around on this build, because in the show, the characters are just kind of chilling out on the wings at a couple points, and you can even have some fight scenes or battles on these wings because they are so large. It is a very sizable ship. I wasn't expecting that for some reason. I've seen some people saying that it pales in comparison to the older T-6 shuttle, but since I don't have that one for reference, this one impressed me with its scale. Overall, this is a pretty great set. Let's move on to the next one. Now, our next set is, of course, the fighter plane chase from the new LEGO Indiana Jones wave that released last year. As with the last set we talked about, I'll be showing you the minifigures and then moving on to our two builds. Our first minifigure up is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Indiana Jones, and I think this figure does a good job of capturing the character in a more modernized LEGO landscape. He does, of course, have his iconic whip, which you get a spare of, interestingly enough, and the printing and design work is solid all around. The leg printing and torso printing is decent. As I said, it captures the character. The face print has a decent likeness to Harrison Ford, and he's got a pretty cool hair-hat combo going on. The second minifig is Henry Jones, Indy's dad, and this is another solid minifigure. I like the torso print going on. Leg printing wasn't really required. He's got a nice 1x1 printed tile for his diary, I believe. The face has an uncanny resemblance to Sean Connery, if you ask me. The only aspect of this minifigure I don't like is the hat. I don't remember these hats having such weak staying power in the older 90s LEGO sets, if I'm remembering correctly, but this one just doesn't stay on the minifigure's head. No matter how many times I move him, it just pops off, and I don't like that at all. We've also got this pilot of unknown affiliation. There's not too much to say about him. He's got a little helmet going on there. The torso print might be useful, but the face is the same one we've seen 10 billion times over, which I'm getting so sick of. There is this small road sign pointing to Berlin with a warning sign about an upcoming tunnel, of course, a reference to the chase scene from The Last Crusade. Nothing too special about this little build. I don't think I've ever gotten this grass piece before, interestingly enough, so it's kind of cool to get that, but both of these are stickers, which, I love to see. And the first build I'm going to look at in this set is the Joneses Getaway Mobile here. And I really liked building this little car. There are a lot of unique techniques, like these droid BB-8 heads, I think, for the headlights. The shaping is solid, even though it's mostly brick-built. It has a good shape about it that feels like a type of vehicle you'd see in the late 40s or early 50s. I couldn't quite get this back bumper into place properly. It requires some precision, which I wasn't quite able to achieve. I don't think I've ever seen this type of top for a chest piece before, but it's still pretty cool. There's an umbrella in there and a spare lightsaber that I threw in, another one of Henry Jones's diaries, and I think there's a few pistols in there as well. There's also a little suitcase which you can stick in there. It all fits in there nicely, and of course you can put Indy and his father in the driver's seat and the co-pilot seat. I'm actually not sure if Indy's supposed to go in the co-pilot seat or the driver's seat. I'm just making stuff up as I go along, which I'm pretty sure is what the characters did in the film as well. Our next and final build is this German, fighter plane of unknown affiliation. I'm not sure if this is meant to be a Spitfire or Luftwaffe. I don't know what model of fighter plane this is exactly, but I really like the design. The color scheme is cool with camo at a few points across the build, although I hate the stickers in this set. That's the one aspect of it that I despise. The sticker on the canopy here pissed me off so much. You can literally see my finger marks on it from how many times I tried to apply it properly, and even after all that effort, I put it on lopsided. You can sort of see a few gauges and controls that the pilot is taking a look at. We've got the same stud shooters as the Ahsoka T-6 shuttle. Of course, you can spin the propeller on the front, and you can even pop the wings off to make the plane look like it's crashing. The flames on the side even reinforce that idea. Overall, this is a really cool build. I love how the wings are angled. I honestly feel like I could use this for some Dunkirk stop motions, because I feel like it would fit quite well in that scenario, which shows how versatile this build is, because it doesn't even have to be applied to Indiana Jones. Moving on to my final verdict on these two sets. I think they're both really good, and I'd honestly recommend both of them. The T-6 is the cheapest of the Ahsoka sets, and I found it on sale. It was originally $100, and I found it for $85. There's no way I would have bought this set on retail, but on sale, it makes for a pretty good deal. The fighter plane chase is solid as well. Recently, I've been playing through the original LEGO Indiana Jones game, and I felt a need to buy at least one Indiana Jones set before they retired, because I'm not sure whether or not it's confirmed that they're going to be making more Indiana Jones sets. Since the Dial of Destiny flopped terribly, I find it unlikely we'll be getting any sets based on that movie. But that's pretty much it on my review of these two sets. You guys let me know, what are your thoughts on these sets? Do you own them? Are you thinking of picking them up after my review? Just whatever your thoughts are. Please let me know them all in the comments below. And of course, as always, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.